meeting going, please? Keep it off, please have a seat. Open item, call to order.
Trustees present this evening are Trustee Calderon, Trustee Pacheco, Trustee Contreras, with Trustee Magallanes and Trustee Alvarado absent. You have a quorum.
Good evening, everyone. My name's Joaquin Jaime, and I was the ASB Media Director for Enrique Camarena Junior High School for the 2023 and 2024 school year. In this year in ASB, I have learned tremendous skills and values that can help me for my future. Our ASB volunteer, Mr. Jaime, has been a very big part of this. To explain why volunteers are necessary to an ASB, I will explain the amount of help I have been given from our ASB volunteer. To begin with, Mr. Jaime has a very unique set of skills and technology that not many people have. I've had the privilege to being able to learn from him. The techniques that I've learned from him are how to write scripts, how to edit films, and how to properly film videos. Mr. Jaime also knows a lot about how to handle woodwork, so making different cutouts for our different events such as our pep rallies and our field day. During my time as media director, I've had the task of making videos for the Firebird ASB YouTube. One example of our work is the video we displayed during our last board meeting when we were here a couple months ago. When working in ASB, Mr. Jaime is a very important volunteer and a key part in the success since in the success of the event since he can do many of the things Ms. Jaime cannot. Based on the information that I'm saying right now, please consider what I'm saying when we're trying to switch the volunteer policy to make it longer so that they can stay for longer hours and help more with our events. Thank you.
May I start? Okay. Hello, my name is Alejandra Patron. I'm from Enrique Camarena Junior High, and I'm this year's Vice President for ASB. Before starting off, I would just like to thank you for letting me and other students speak here at this board meeting. It really means a lot to us. So the importance of a good ASB is to raise school spirit, teach student leadership skills, and community building. ASB enriches ECJHs, our events that everyone loves, such as our spirit days and how we bring to the community. During food and clothing drives, and some of our events like Haunted House. With our Haunted House, we opened it for the community for them to be able to enjoy our event and have fun with their family and friends. It's also the same with any of our events, pep rallies, field day, carnivals, noon activities, etc. They let our students get the mental break they need from the hard work and testing. This is all I have to say now, and I would just like to thank you for reading our letters about the volunteer policy, which we really hope would change. Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, members of the district board. My name is Genevieve Delgado, and I am in 8th grade. And I am here on behalf of the concerned students from Enrique Camarena. We appreciate the district's efforts to establish clear guidelines for our schools, but we have concerns about a recently enforced rule regarding volunteer hours. As of this year, a new regulation limits our volunteers to 3 days per week, with a maximum of 3 hours per day. While we understand the intent behind maintaining consistency and oversight, we believe this rule may unintentionally impact the quality of our school's program and the support our students receive. Volunteers are known to be the backbone of many of our school's activities. They provide invaluable support from assisting to teachers to organizing events. Their contributions are often what makes our school a thriving community. Today, we're here to discuss the implications of this rule, particularly how it affects long-standing volunteers who have dedicated years of service to our school. We believe this rule, while well-intentioned, may need reconsideration or adjustment to better serve our community's needs. I'll now hand over to my fellow ASB members who will dive deeper into how this rule specifically impacts our school and propose potential solutions. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Ailey.
Okay. Hello, I am Rain Brown, an 8th grader and treasurer of ASB. Thank you for allowing me the time to speak. I'm very grateful to be here today. To start, I want to clarify the need for volunteers and how they enrich schools all around. We want our ASB to be a very high standard program that produces great leaders who have a sense of independence, understand how to work in groups at a higher level, get the feeling of planning a big event, going through with it, then building it all ourselves, and grow that confidence that there's no challenge too small for us. Which I feel are things you can't understand at the same level anywhere else than in ASB. But this is basically impossible to do without volunteers, which we've always had throughout Mrs. Jaime's time as ASB advisor, from parents, teachers, and of course Mr. Jaime, who have all stayed for so much longer than 3 hours a day, 9 hours a week, and I know would love to again. I can assure you that every ASB in the district has had at least one occasion in which volunteers helped students and brought in diverse skills to teach. Like an ASB, thanks to all our volunteers, we've been taught many techniques and skills that greatly help us today. All our ASB parents coming out wanting to be a part of their children's school life and wanting to be a supportive figure to them. In your policy at volunteer assistance, it also states volunteer assistants in schools can enrich the educational program, increase supervision of students, and contribute to school safety while strengthening the school's relationship with the community. Therefore, you also understand how great volunteers are to schools, and we hope you can take into consideration how the volunteer policy affects volunteers. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Delilah Moncada.
Hello, good evening. I would like to first of all say thank you for the chance of speaking this evening. My name is Delilah Moncada, and I was in ASB and at Enrique Camarena Junior High my 8th grade year. My 8th grade year was so fun. I personally had a very memorable year. Last year with all of my ASB members, advisors, and volunteers. Our volunteers are really important to us. They are a big part of our ASB. Our volunteers include parents and community members. They all helped me achieve things that I never thought I would. They all taught me valuable skills. Well, enough about last year, because right now I'm here to tell you about another reason why our volunteer policy does more harm than good to our schools. The policy can have a negative impact with our very own community. Many volunteers are often parents and community members who are interested in our schools. Therefore, our volunteers may not feel trusted or appreciated since they are being limited on how much they can help our schools. Our volunteers aren't just helpers. They aren't in it for themselves. They are in it for the success of our schools, students, and teachers. Volunteers play a major part in our district. So why are we limiting on helping our schools succeed? Why are we limiting the help our students can receive? I would like to share one of our district quotes. The whole child, every child, all the time. Personally, I feel like we aren't achieving this model. This model shows that every child is important here at our Calexico district. And that district main focus is the students, but is it really? Are we really caring for our students when we are limiting all the other chances of help they can get? Volunteers may not seem as important as they really are. We shouldn't limit our volunteers. If we don't limit our volunteers, students will be able to have all the resources they can get. They can even achieve what they thought they could never achieve. If we don't limit them, students will have a higher chance to achieve success and allow our students to high rise in life. We need more community involved in our school. Please let us have more volunteer hours in our schools so we can all achieve success. This is all from me. Thank you.
Thank you. Zoe Perez Castillo.
Good evening. My name is Zoe Perez, and I'm running to be this year's ASB secretary here at our local Enrique Camarena Junior High School. ASB has been my passion ever since I joined the program back in 5th grade. But when it truly became my passion was last year when I met my amazing team and advisor, Mrs. Jaime, and our creative director, Johnny Jaime. Sorry, I'm nervous. Okay. So Johnny Jaime is a really important part for ASB. Without him, I don't think ASB would be as successful and productive, and we wouldn't be the family we still are today. Ever since we got the news about the volunteer policy, it has affected us in a negative way. What I mean is, this year it's been really hard on us because many events aren't going to be made, like our haunted house and our float, etc. And we worked so hard, we stayed late, we put our dedication, we invested in fundraise money, and more. And I know you might be questioning yourselves why we're here today. And it's because we want future generations to experience what being a leader really is. Johnny Jaime is the light of ASB. He's always there to find the light in a dark alley. Even if we have to stay really late, even if there's like a lot of things to be done, if there's like much work, it doesn't matter how much work it takes. And another great example of volunteering in ASB has been one of our ASB moms, Julia Uriarte G. She has helped us by staying late, setting up for important events such as pep rallies, promotion dance, float, etc. They help us out in so many ways that none of us in ASB sometimes can do. There are multiple reasons why I believe they have been a great volunteers, but this would be all for my part. Thank you.
Thank you. Maria Peña.
Good evening, esteemed board members. My name is Maria Peña. I am a 9th grader in the Dianza campus, and I was a member of ASB my 2 years of middle school. I was also secretary in my 8th grade year. Enough about me. I will start this part of our presentation. Today, we are here to address an issue that directly impacts our community. We are here to, our district proudly upholds the motto, the whole child, every child, all the time. This statement reflects our commitment to providing comprehensive support and opportunities to every student, without exception. However, the recent changes to the volunteer policy, which now severely limits the time volunteers can spend on campus, directly contradicts this motto. Let's start with the most immediate consequence of this new policy. It discourages volunteer participation. Volunteers have always been a crucial part of our district, offering their time, skills, and care to support various programs and activities. However, the new policy shortens and limits the amount of time they can be on campus. By reducing the time volunteers can engage with students and staff, we're cutting down the support available to our students. These limits prevent volunteers from fully contributing to events, assisting teachers, or providing the attention that some students need. As a result, the policy undermines the very foundation of what it means to support the whole child, every child, all the time. Thank you.
Thank you. Marianne Martinez.
Good afternoon. My name is Maria Martinez, and I've been in ASB for 2 years now. And I'm sure there are multiple reasons why our district has a volunteer policy that talks about a time limit. Some reasons may be consistency and fairness, or wanting to avoid disruptions. Different people want to be volunteers and help in schools, but we must have a limit for them, right? We don't want an impacted school full of volunteers but we also want to be fair to all volunteers. Time limits help with those problems. They help schedule all of our volunteers so that schools aren't impacted and have multiple people come and help. However, in our school, we have many volunteers that are always there. They are volunteers that help to the best of their ability, and they need more time. How are our schools supposed to be creative and innovative and make great activities for the students without that extra help? By not having time limits, our volunteers can work as hard as they can and be as flexible as they want. You may think that they can work and organize events with the schedules provided, but the time given is too short. Events will not be finished and will only be halfway done when it's the day of the event. And not having time limits can help have those events done. In our schools, there are experienced volunteers that our schools need for the best experience our students can have. They work better without time limits, and they can manage the amount of time they need to work. As board members, you want your students in your schools to not only do good at school, but have fun and be challenged and learn, grow outside of the classroom. Our events create a sense of community and allow students to foster school spirit. They look forward to participating and being part of them. I know as board members, you look at the policy and find ways to improve our schools for us, the students. I ask that you please remember we ASB and our dedicated volunteers also do this for the students you all want the best for. Thank you for your attention and time.
Thank you. Ms. Ailey G.
Hello. So, as I said earlier, I wanted to be last for a reason. We had a specific order we want to go in with an introduction, why we think volunteers are good, why for schools, why ASB are good for schools, and why volunteers are good for ASB in specific, and with examples of our volunteers. We really hope that our speeches and our letters and our hard work and dedication for trying to make a change for all of our schools and community, honestly, and we hope you will consider this. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Cázares. Ms. Daniela Vega, please.
Hi, board members. Ooh, okay, now you can hear me. And everyone else. Classified employees in Calexico have been some of the best and most hardworking people I've had the privilege of working with. You'll never find people who are as proud of their communities, students, and district. They're here, rain or shine. At the end of the day, they are the pillar that holds this district together. Let's see. They're the essential workers who keep it all running. They keep students fed, safe, and supported. We are here to demand a fair and equitable contract. We have worked on many agreements together in the past. We're here to ask and demand that the district show their appreciation to classified staff, not with an applause or a thank you, but with a fair contract with benefits that support them and their families. We understand things happen. In the world of classified employees, there's always disasters and issues that arise, and they handle them. I know there are factors that prevented us. One second. I know there are factors that prevented us from discussing benefits and salary. One thing that is not clear, and it was asked before, is how did the superintendent receive a new contract with a 3% increase for the next 3 years? How did that happen if there's no district budget? The district should have realized there were issues with the budget before that. At the end of the day, superintendents come and go, but classified staff is here to stay. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Pat Birso.
Good evening, board members. My name is Crystal Cáceres. I'm Calexico Chapter 399's first vice president and job steward, as well as a state-appointed Research and Negotiations Committee member. I stand before you today as a representative of classified employees speaking on behalf of the dedicated members who keep our schools running smoothly every day. We are here to address serious concerns regarding the ongoing negotiations between our union and the district. Over the past several months, We have been trying to negotiate with the district on issues that are crucial to the livelihoods of our members. We have approached these negotiations with an open mind, ready to collaborate and find solutions that serve the best interests of everyone involved, especially our students. However, we are deeply concerned about the direction that these negotiations have taken. We have been told repeatedly that we cannot negotiate on anything that touches the budget, yet we have seen the district's priorities laid bare in the form of a 3% raise for our superintendent, guaranteed for the next 3 years. We're not here to criticize the compensation of our leadership, but rather to highlight the stark contrast between what is being offered to those at the top and what is being denied to those who work tirelessly on the ground every day. This raise sends a clear message about the district's priorities, and it's a message that resonates loudly with all of us. It tells us that there is money available when it suits certain interests, but when it comes to negotiating in good faith with our union, suddenly the budget becomes an insurmountable barrier. Adding to our frustration is the district's decision to set a deadline for our insurance coverage before negotiations have been completed. This deadline looms over us, yet we have not reached an agreement that would ensure our members' health and well-being. Pushing this deadline without resolving the issues at hand is not only unfair, but it also puts unnecessary pressure on those who are already under significant financial strain. Our classified employees who receive the least compensation in the district are the ones feeling the brunt of these decisions. The cost of living continues to rise. Electricity, water, food, gas, all of these are increasing, yet our members' wages are not keeping pace. Many of our members live paycheck to paycheck, struggling to make ends meet while continuing to give their all to the students and the district. It's deeply concerning that those who are the backbone of the district, those who support our students and keep our schools operational, are being neglected in these negotiations. We're not asking for the impossible. We're asking for fairness. We're asking for the recognition that our members deserve to work without the fear of losing essential benefits and to live without constant financial stress. We believe that our district can do better, and we believe that the board has a responsibility to ensure that negotiations are conducted in good faith and that the concerns of the employees are given the attention that they deserve. We urge you to reconsider your stance and to engage with us in a manner that reflects the values of fairness and mutual respect. Our goal is not to disrupt, but to ensure that every member of our team, from the classroom to the front office, feels valued and heard. We're here to serve our students, and we can only do that effectively when we know that our district stands behind us, not just in words, but in actions. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Ms. Pat Bristol.
Good evening, board members, Mr. Calderon, Mr. Pacheco, and Mr. Contreras, and Superintendent Mr. Jimenez. I stand here to represent all my classified and all the ones that couldn't make it today. It's a whole unit at CSCA. We are all united and we stand strong. The reason that I'm standing here is because of negotiations that you have heard with my colleagues. We've had 3 negotiations and some of them have been canceled. We get phone calls from the administration that we're not ready, we need more time, and we have agreed in good faith to give more time to the district. We understand that there's been a lot of issues. We had a hack and that they couldn't get to us, and we worked with them to be able to get everything straightened out. Also, we get phone calls a day before that we cannot, from the administration, we cannot meet because we don't have a budget. We don't have a budget. There's been an error. We don't have a budget yet. I'm sorry. I haven't met with my district, the board, and I really can't have the negotiations. But the last time we were very upset and we said no. And I was the first one to say it because I'm the lead negotiator. And I said no. We've been negotiating since June. They've been pushing us for the medical enrollment. We've had 2 Zoom meetings, and that is the livelihood of all our employees that have medical insurance. That's why we work here. We have an economical package. Salary and benefits go together. You can't divide them. That's the way it's always been in Calexico. So I stand here to make the right decision to get our budget that you have already, because I hear they're buying here, they're buying there, they're buying here, they're ordering here, but there's nothing for negotiations for CSEA. We're the backbone. We take care of all our students. We've been here many years. We bring in all the attendants, the school stuff. I can name all bus drivers. We're the ones that are with the students 8 hours a day or 6 hours a day. We are the backbone, and we deserve a fair contract, and we deserve our medical benefits with our salary to continue to negotiate in good faith. I stand here, board members and my colleagues, that you please reconsider. Let's go to the table because it's enrollment time. Everybody's panicking about the medical benefits. I don't have all the answers. I'm not an administrator. I don't handle the budget. I don't handle money. How am I going to respond to all my team, to all my classified? And we've been here many years serving the district, the parents, and the students. So please, let's have a budget in our next negotiations, and we're ready to negotiate in good faith. Thank you.
Thank you. Item C, we'll move to closed session. We'll come back at 6:30.